Now then, welcome back to the Route 1 Football Podcast. My name's Olly.
I'm Jake.
I'm Ryan.
And we've got a special guest on today. So, Rob, do you want to introduce yourself?
Hello, my name's Rob. I'm Liverpool's resident Chelsea fan.
We've decided to get an extra person on the podcast today to make a little bit more entertainment for you.
I think before we get started, we should address the elephant in the room.
I've got an apology to make.
You do, mate.
We recorded this podcast on Tuesday, hoping to get it out on that night, like we normally do. And we recorded a really good podcast with all four of us, one of the best ones we've done. And I basically pressed the wrong button at the end and deleted the whole thing. So we've had to come in again on Thursday and do it a bit later.
Pissed off all one and two of our viewers will be.
Yeah, I've let myself down. I've let you down, and I've let the fans down.
To be fair though, can I just say big shout out to Bobo for coming on again?
Yeah.
And taking a time out. So
Respect
thank you for that.
And the Twitter as well has also been down, courtesy of me.
Let's
managed to get us
hashtag Ollie's had a shocker trending on Twitter.
Yeah.
We just get Ollie out for two reasons, like.
But yeah, now we are back up and running, and I know the podcast is a bit late this week. I just wanted to say, anyone that is out there listening, because I know we're getting like 20, 30 views on YouTube and a few more on Spotify and
how many
iTunes.
Ryan's mum?
I just want anyone who is listening just to let us know if you have enjoyed it, if you haven't enjoyed it. Just make a sign that you're tuning in every week, just so we know, so we're not doing this for nothing. It'll be nice, because at the end of the day, we want to try and grow a bit of an audience. But anyway, we'll get on, because I know you've all been waiting eagerly for this week's podcast, and you've had to wait an extra 2 days. So, Jake's quiz.
Yeah, it's my quiz this week, and originally we did, like we said, we had a round of the quiz already. No one knows who won that first round. So, it's just nice that we'll be able to have like another chance for people to change the scoreboards, and plus obviously Bob's going to be involved for this one. So first round is going to be a set of Who Am I's. Now there is going to be a theme to these Who Am I's, and it should become pretty obvious after the first couple, but I want to see if you can kind of gather that theme. So the first player has played with JJ Okocha, Pablo Zabaleta and Javier Zanetti.
One more time, please.
So that's JJ Okocha, so good he named him twice, Pablo Zabaleta and Javier Zanetti. Javier Zanetti.
Zavaletti.
Indeed. Now, like we said, there is 3 clues. So, Bob, as you're new to this, there is 3 points for getting it on the first clue, 2 points for the second, and 1 for the third.
Okay. Yep.
Anyone want to hazard a guess? Even a punt in the dark.
Do we buzz in for these, or do we just say it out loud?
Buzz in. I want to hear you say buzz.
Buzz.
Go on.
Joe Mario.
No. Where's he played with the Kocha, bro?
I know, man. I was just...
Okay.
Should be over to you.
So, Rise now out. Anyone else?
Buzz, UC Askelainen.
No. Anyone, Bob? Any names in the dark?
I can't think of anything.
Come on, you got to have something. Just a random name.
Buzz. Pablo Osvaldo.
No. Okay, so I have played in Argentina, Spain and France.
Argentina, Spain and France.
So my playing career has taken me from Argentina to Spain to France.
Oh, in that order.
In that order. Thought it'd be nice.
So I'm going to put my cards out there. I'm pretty sure he's Argentinian.
Yeah.
Could be.
Possibly.
Unless you've really thrown a spanner in the works.
Could be Colombian.
Zanetti was one club man, wasn't it?
Argentina.
Why am I helping you? Go away.
Any ideas?
No, I'm really struggling with this one.
Gonna have to push you for time for this first clue. Second clue.
Buzz.
Go on.
Caballero.
Nope.
Bad shout.
No, I got nothing.
Come on.
Every Argentinian I think of has played for Inter, so it's just he's not played in Italy. Is that the end of his career in France?
I'm not saying that is the end of
is
his
that
career.
up for debate? Okay.
He may have went somewhere else after France, but it might have
Oh,
been one of
what?
those first
That was
countries.
just
It may have been one of those first 2 countries. I'm not saying I am. I'm just saying he's been to those 3 countries to play.
No, I'm just gonna have to pass this round. I've got nothing.
Yeah.
Okay, the next clue, because I've got one more for just this one specifically. So this is still a chance for a 2-pointer. My first management role was at the last club I played for. So the club I ended my career at. Sorry for any of the viewers that aren't enjoying me.
Boom. Sedan.
Zidane? Nope.
Boom.
didn't start in Argentina.
Hey!
Yes.
Bob's got
Who
it.
was it?
Yeah,
Pochettino.
Pochettino. Play with the Cocha at PSG.
Espanyol. Or PSG, whatever.
Pablo Zabaleta at Espanyol. And Zanetti for Argentina.
Played with
Yes.
Zabaleta.
Yeah. I didn't know that until I
Oh.
did my research, mate. And then the last clue I had was the best managerial achievement is my Champions League runners-up medal.
Yeah,
I think you would have got it by the last
I
one.
like that. That was a nice one. I'll give you
Okay,
that.
so the next... Who am I? So that's what, 2 points to Bobo?
Yeah.
Hey, so Bobo's 2-0 up in his first appearance on the quiz.
Yes.
Okay. So I played with Paolo Di Canio, Ian Robin, and Andrea Pirlo. I don't know whether this one's gettable on the first clue. I think it should be, but...
So you said there's a theme.
Boom.
Go on.
Frank Lampard.
Yay!
Yeah, it's managed. It's
brilliant.
Premier League managers, isn't
Premier
it?
League managers that are managing the Premier League got the clue.
Fairs. Was it Canio at West Ham?
Indeed.
Parlo
Robin
in
at
America.
Chelsea and
Yeah,
Pirlo in
That's a
America.
goal from
Yeah,
Ronaldo.
Fairs.
The other player that I genuinely did not know, well, it was a bit of a discrepancy when I was doing my research that he had played with was Jan Molby, and that would have really threw spanner in the works because he had
I
a
don't
half
know.
season on loan at Swansea.
Yeah.
Jan who?
Molby.
I don't know who that is.
If Ryan doesn't know Jan Molby,
He's a Danish Liverpool player.
yeah. But yeah, I was going to throw a real spanner in the works because that was a half season at Swansea. He played with Molby out while he was player manager. So, yeah, the other clues for that were played in 3 different countries and has managed in both the Prem and Championship in his first 2 seasons. So,
What's the third country?
Wales. That's what I mean. Bit of a spanner in the works. And the last one, I've played with Rio Ferdinand, Marco Materazzi, and Davor Suker.
I can't think of any managers.
Buzz. Slaven Bilic.
Hey,
Yes,
Bob's on fucking
Everton.
fire, mate.
Everton.
What's that, Bob? What? Bob 5? No, 8? Bob
No,
8?
5. 3
You
on
got
the
the first
first,
one, the
and 2 on the... 2 on the first and 3 on the third.
Yeah.
2, 3, 3?
No,
No, Ryan got
Ryan
that
got
one.
the second one.
Oh, actually, yeah. Okay. So, Bob wins the first round.
So
By
does he get
flying
a
colours.
point for winning
so
the
Bob
round?
gets takes the first round, 1-0.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, now, pens and paper are ready for the next one. So, I think for the... I just want to put it out there for the original episode we did a... we mentioned the England all-time 11 that was put out by the BBC, and it was a case of whoever got the most right in their 11s won points correlating to that. So, I've had to change it up slightly to give you a bit of a new challenge. Back in September, FIFA released their best 11 of the year awards.
Ooh.
Now I'm going to put 30 seconds, a minute on the clock. 30 seconds? No, 30 seconds on the clock. I'm
So
going to be really
they released
honest.
it in September. Was it best of the previous season or the year?
The last year.
So the whole of 2019.
Yeah.
What are we talking about here?
So the FIFA
World 11.
FIFA World 11 that was released in September. Now I want to see if you can name... Well, give your 11 and of what you think it would have been.
Oh.
And let's see how many you can get right. So, you've got 30 seconds starting in 3, 2, 1.
Thing is, FIFA's so like biased. I bet they've put some
We only do
stupid.
11 players, like.
11 players.
They'll have put some stupid people in. I think I might
15 seconds gone. I'll get them down quick.
go for who I think it should.
I might push it to 45 seconds just so we can get enough names down. Gonna push it to 45. Alright, that is 15 seconds to go. 10 seconds left, guys. That's time.
Oh my god.
Okay. Now, I want to... I don't know how the best way to do this would be. Okay, so I'm going to just name our... I'm going to go position by position. You just got to be honest. So, goalkeeper.
Allison.
I want to see pens on the floor. Allison.
I'll put Allison, yeah.
Okay. Everyone get a point for Allison then, okay? Defenders, they were Matthias Deli, Marcelo,
I nearly put him in because I thought that's just
Sergio
such a...
Ramos,
No.
and Virgil van Dijk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so how many points did you get?
Who was the right back? Who was the right back?
Defenders and
You
Allison.
just put 4 defenders in. I'm guessing it was Deli.
Delete,
I put
Van
Kimmich.
Dijk,
Yeah,
Ramos.
I put
Yeah.
Kimmich.
Okay, so how many did you get? Who did you not get? Who did you put in instead?
I
I
only
put-
knew Marcelo because of an uproar.
Trent,
God.
you put Trent
Yeah,
in?
really.
I put Trent,
Controversy.
Van Dijk, Laporte, and I was going to put Marcelo, and I just thought, I can't be him.
How about you?
I
Bobby?
remember
Who
the
did you put in?
uproar.
I only got
He
Van
was-
Dijk from that one and Allison.
Who else did you put in instead though?
I put Kimmich and then wasn't able to get
Oh,
anybody
okay.
else in.
Then midfielders, we have 3 midfielders. Frankie de Jong,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eden Hazard, controversially as a centre midfielder, and Luka Modric, controversially
Oh
again, who
my
had a
God.
really
Oh.
poor season.
Did you get any?
No.
No.
I
I got De Jong.
I put
so de Jong,
Wijnaldum.
that's 1 point. At
I
least.
got De Jong.
Who else did you have in there though?
I put David Silva, and I didn't have another one.
Who
I
did you have
put,
in there?
Oh, David
I put
Silva's a-
Wijnaldum in there.
Wijnaldum, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, considering he got Ballon d'Or
I was
nominated,
gonna say.
it wouldn't have been a
David
bad show.
Silva was a last
What about
minute
you, Ray?
panic from me.
I did like the same route I went with Marcelo. I wasn't people off who don't deserve it.
Controversial.
Yeah.
That's why I had Rakitic and Cruz.
Ah,
And I
okay.
just run players
And then
to
the
win.
front 3 I feel like is very gettable. So Ronaldo,
Yeah.
Messi,
Yeah.
and Mbappe.
I put
but
Salah.
Salah.
I put Salah.
Ah.
I
Okay.
can't think of a striker, so I put Kane.
So how many points did you get, Ray?
Overall, I'm on 5.
5, okay.
I only got 4.
I got
4,
5.
Okay, so that makes it what? 1-1-1?
Yeah, because they
We both get a point.
Both get a point, so it
Okay,
goes into the
first.
final round. Whoever
Woohoo!
takes this winner takes it.
Whoa! Exciting
Okay.
stuff.
Now, this is where it gets interesting. Specialist round.
Oh no.
All related.
Oh,
We've
no,
got
yeah.
a United fan, a Chelsea fan, and a Liverpool fan in the studio today with us. So, I'm going to ask Ollie to go first.
Oh no.
30 seconds. Can you name as many players from the Man United current squad as possible?
Oh.
So 30 seconds on the clock. 3, 2, 1.
David De Gea, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Eric Bailly, Scott McTominay, Harry Maguire, Victor Lindelof, Brandon Williams, Luke Shaw, Ashley Young, Sergio Romero, Fred, Paul Pogba, Anthony Martial, Marcus Rashford, Mason Greenwood, Tafe Chong, Angel Gomez, Nemanja Matic, Juan Mata, Jesse Lingard, Ethan Laird,
Oh, what a shout.
20.
Diego Dallo.
Time up before Diego
That was
Dallo.
a good. That was a
That
good
was
round.
good. What was that,
a
20?
Very
I
good
don't know.
round.
We'll go
Think
through the
it's
list.
20.
Have you got the list?
So yeah, so the list of that was, we had
Correct.
De Gea obviously,
Yep.
you had that. Romero,
Yep.
Lee Grant,
No.
nope.
Ooh.
Pereira,
No.
nope. Lindelof, I think you got.
Yep.
Maguire,
Yep.
Jones,
No.
Bailly,
Yep.
Rojo,
No.
nope. Young,
Yep.
yeah. Delo, yeah.
Yep.
Actually, it was Delo. It was just after the timer.
Just after the
Can't give you that
timer.
one. Shaw,
Yep.
Fossey Mensah,
No.
Wan-Bissaka, yeah. Twanzebe, no. I don't think.
No, I didn't know.
Pogba you got,
Yep.
Matty you got, Lingard you got, I
Yep.
think, yeah. Pereira,
No, I
No.
didn't get Pereira.
Fred you got,
Yep.
Angel Gomez,
Did I say Angel?
Yeah,
Gomez?
you
I
got
did
yeah.
think so, I did.
Matic you
Yep.
got, definitely. James Garner? No. McTominay,
Yep.
yeah. James.
No.
Did you get that, James?
Miss James, bless him.
Martial, Rashford, Greenwood and Chong, I think you got
Yeah,
all four. Okay, so that is...
Ethan Laird was a bit of a out
Yeah.
there one. I don't know why I was thinking
Yeah,
about
but
him.
he was on the first team, I'm afraid.
Yeah, yeah,
So-
yeah.
That wasn't registered.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. 18?
Take
Good
that. I'll
score.
take
Pretty
it.
good going, you know, mate.
Very good score.
That's really good. Okay. Rai, you're going to go next. This is Liverpool first team squad from this season again. 30 seconds.
I
Cool.
got it 99-0.
18 to beat, Ryan. Come on.
18 to beat. I think it's doable,
He's
though.
ready.
If you're as big of a Liverpool fan as you say you are, mate.
I had a couple of pauses as
Right,
well.
3, 2, 1.
Adrian, Allison, Kelleher, Lonergan, Trent, Alexander-Arnold, Wijnaldum, Van Dijk, Sepp van der Berg, fucking Robertson, Milner, Lovren, Mata, Gomez, Oxlade-Chamberlain, Hendo, Milner, Fabinho, Keita, Salah, Mane, Brewster, Firmino, Origi, Shaqiri, Harvey Elliott, Kira Fella.
Ooh.
Mate, you've smashed that.
How many did he get?
I'm pretty sure that from counting, that was about 24, 25.
Jesus, that's the whole squad,
That
isn't
was
it?
near enough the whole. I think the only ones you missed was Salah.
I said Salah.
Did you say
You said
Salah?
Salah.
You missed what? I'm sure you missed
Let's have a
someone.
look.
So from that,
So you got Alisson,
all four
Adrian,
goalkeepers.
Kelleher,
Lonergan.
Donegan, Clyde. You didn't get
You
Clyde.
didn't get
Didn't get
Clyde. Van
Van
Dijk.
Dijk. Did you get Lovren?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
got
Lovren,
the centre-backs.
Gomez,
Gomez.
Robbo, Trent, Hoyvier,
No, I didn't get him.
You didn't get who?
Fabinho.
Got Van der Berg.
Yeah.
Wijnaldum, Milner. Who's that?
Keita,
Yeah.
Henderson, Ox.
Did you get Lallana?
No.
No. Shaqiri,
Shaqiri.
Jones.
Don't think you got Jones, but you got Elliott though.
Yeah.
And then you got
Firmino, Salah, Mane, Brewster, Origi.
And I got, what about Kira Fella? He's made an appearance.
Who?
Pedro
Pedro,
Kira Fella.
that was in the cup though.
Still, it's an appearance.
Cup.
Premier League squad.
Premier League squads, bro. Okay, so that was
I'm looking up every Premier League
7,
squad.
8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15.
Didn't he get in a bit of
16,
trouble because he was
17,
unregistered?
18,
Oh, yeah. 21. 21.
Wow,
21.
that's Very
Ah.
good. Jesus.
So you've
it's going
got
to be
21
very
to beat them,
difficult. Oh Lord.
Bob, you've had the most thinking time as well. I feel like this is this is hit yours for the taking
So
here
much
as the
pressure
guest. So Chelsea first team squad. I want to see how many.
It's
there
just
are,
about
actually.
speed,
1, 2,
this, isn't it?
3, 4, 5.
I feel like we could all do it
Boom,
in
boom, boom, boom.
double the time. It's just speed.
There's 24 players in this squad,
Oh,
so you need to get
Jesus, I'm going to have to get
the
everybody.
vast majority here. So when you're ready, 3, 2, 1, go.
Kepa, Caballero, Cummings, Reece James, Aspi, Rudiger, Christensen, Tomori, Zuma, Emerson, Alonso, Loftus-Cheek, Mount, Jorginho, Kante, Kovacic, Pedro, Willian, Pulisic, Hudson-Odoi, Tammy Abraham, Batshuayi, Giroud, Billy Gilmore, Mark Gurhey. Oh, I can't think of any more.
Blown it.
You were on fire for like a little while there.
Anybody else was trying to go through
I can't think of
positions.
anyone you missed.
I think, to be fair, who did...
We'll go for it if anyone's.
Yeah, so Kepa, Caballero,
Playing on.
Cumming.
Yeah.
As far as you got Cumming, to be fair.
Yeah,
Young
Jamie
player.
Cummings is a good player.
Rudiger, Aspi, Zuma, Tomori, Christensen.
Yeah.
Palmieri, did you get?
Emerson, yeah.
Yeah, Emerson, yeah. James,
Yeah.
Alonso, you
Yeah.
got Jorginho,
Yep.
Kovacic,
Yep.
Mount,
Yep.
yeah, Gilmore, yeah,
Yeah.
Loftus-Cheek,
Yep.
yeah, Van Ginkel,
No.
Kante,
Yep.
Barkley.
No, Ross.
I'm sure you got Hudson-Odoi, I'm sure you
Yeah.
got Tammy,
Yep.
Giroud,
Yep.
yeah, Willian Pulisic as well,
Yep. Yep.
Batshuayi,
Yep.
and Pedro.
Yep.
Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
He's
6,
got it.
7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 23.
Yeah.
Right at the death.
Oh.
I didn't realise you had that many. Wow.
I can't believe I didn't get Barkley though.
You've got the blessing of a big squad.
I know.
I think to be fair,
I just went
do you know
through
what
the
though? I
midfield.
worked that out wrong because I didn't write down Alonso either, so it was 25 to get. So you got 23 out of 25. That's impressive, mate.
Oh,
So
thank
Bob takes this week's quiz, boys.
God. Yes.
We'll have to work out what we do with the visitors' scores.
Yeah,
It'll
so-
be nice to have a running tally to see who's the best of the visitors. We'll get Rob on again at some point.
Yeah.
We'll have some
See
more
if he can,
visitors to compete with.
Keep his crown as the
Yeah.
champion.
I'm looking at Ryan, he's not very happy.
He's not very.
The quiz that got deleted, Ryan did win, but
Did he?
Ryan smashed.
Did he?
that you haven't mentioned it.
I don't see
I
there
prefer
being
not
any.
to speak.
I don't think there's any proof of Ryan winning that
Yeah.
last week. Well, this week's quiz.
That's the way the world works sometimes. Anyway, talking of the world, international football. Nice little segue there. England have qualified. We pretty much knew that was going to happen for the Euros. But one thing I wanted to talk about was the other home nations. Ryan, Northern Ireland, what are your thoughts?
Oh, we're in for playoffs now, Bosnia. Right? Don't like the new playoff system. I'd prefer it was like just two legged, one off, like not a one off game, sorry, but like a one off fixture, home and away.
Yeah.
But instead, it's like
Explain how the playoffs work for people.
I mean,
who don't know.
I would have
no
a
one
clue.
knows.
But basically, I don't really know what. Like even Scotland, for example, fair in for playoffs, don't find out who they get until Friday, until tomorrow.
Yeah, there's some sort of draw tomorrow that Scotland could either play Bulgaria, Hungary, Israel, or Romania.
And what I also don't get is, the groups for the actual Euros itself has already been decided. I seen an article saying if Scotland get through, they're in England's group. Like, how's that?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know
There
that.
was a possible group of death for England, wasn't there? Like with
but
France and Spain. In it
I
or
understand.
something?
But I like the draw. Like, put them into different pots based on ranking, and then you tune in, watch the draw.
Yeah, I do love watching a draw.
Yeah, but like, what's this about? Like, already decided.
Very confusing.
But yeah, as for Northern Ireland, we have Bosnia away, and then I'm pretty sure that if we do get through it, it's going to be in another away game.
Oh no, oh no, so yeah, ignore me. The other home nations, who have they got? We've got Republic of Ireland away at Slovakia. So you two could potentially meet in the final of Path B, as that's called, because you are playing Bosnia, Northern Ireland playing Bosnia away. Slovakia have got Republic of Ireland away. Those two potentially play each other in the final.
That'd be quite.
I'm right in saying that.
Quite an event. That.
Feisty.
One thing I do want to ask though, I mean, obviously it's very, it's slightly strange over it. I think we touched on it on the Lost podcast. Was the fact that I know you said that over in Northern Ireland the whole nation seems to get behind the national team. I don't feel like it's the same over it. I know I'm part of the side that doesn't have any affiliation to the national team whatsoever over in England. It's like, well, I just want to know like what it's like being part of a nation where like everyone seems to come together, like consistently.
Ryan, are you awake?
I'm not Northern Irish.
Well, yeah, there's only one Northern Irish person in the room.
Yeah, but I remember we were discussing it with Olly, and he was talking about how, like, we all have club differences, but then once it comes to your nation, like, you're able to just meet up with all your mates in the same group, go to the pub. It's quite difficult in Northern Ireland, obviously, because, like, in the same French group, you do have half Republic fans, half Northern Ireland fans.
Yeah.
But I don't know what it is about countries, really, but I don't know, it is different from club level. Like, I would celebrate a Northern Ireland goal completely different to how I'd celebrate a Liverpool goal.
Which would you prefer, though?
I would have always said Liverpool growing up, but now I just think back to the Euros when Northern Ireland scored the first goal in the actual Euros against Ukraine. I've never celebrated a goal like that as much.
Not even
in
the Champions League winners
Not
this
even.
year, really?
Yeah.
Because I mean, I've seen how emotional you got over that, and that's like,
Yeah.
you're like, that was mad.
I know. I'm not quite sure, but
Yeah. Like I said, I just don't get the kind of.
but I think a lot of it is because of how small Northern Ireland are.
Suppose.
I think that could be a bit, like, maybe if I was like from England, it wouldn't be as much. And the thing is as well, like with Northern Ireland, like obviously I know I'd win for playing low, but I'm not looking at the fixture as you are with like Liverpool, for example. You're checking fixtures, when's City, when's United.
Yeah.
Like with Northern Ireland, it's just
Yeah.
Watch
it's the
the
next
oh,
game kind of
yeah,
thing.
you just watch when it comes about. I'm not
Yeah.
looking out for the games. Might be for the playoffs, but that's because it's a big game.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm
Yeah.
not sure.
Because like I
Where
said,
my
like I
allegiance
just
is
don't
like.
feel any sort of kind of like anytime England are playing, like I find something else to do because I'm like, well, it doesn't interest me whatsoever.
Well, I can see how the qualifiers don't interest people like you
Especially
have to
for
play
England.
these such small nations
Yeah.
that you just know that England are going to beat.
Like I said, happy like a good international break for me is Trent, Henderson, Robertson. You know, like I mean, obviously he's not English, but you know, all these lads going away on the for the national teams, coming back without an injury. That for me is like, if they don't play, I'm buzzing.
I just don't understand how you
honestly
can feel no emotion when you see England scoring at a World Cup or a
It's
Euros.
just not something I've ever felt affiliated to. Like, you know, going back to when I was a kid, there was no sort of like the national team was so disappointing when I was growing up, and I never felt any sort of like connection with them. I think it was so different. Like, I mean, I never enjoyed watching them, and I feel like that's the reason why I started watching Liverpool as a club, because I enjoyed watching them, and it was like all the players were exciting. You know, they were like the European night at Anfield. That was the allure that got me.
But you think someone growing up as maybe a Crystal Palace fan, do you think they just stopped supporting Crystal Palace because they didn't have any good times when they were growing up?
No, it depends on like why you get into football and why you support a club. There's so many different reasons for it. It's like, you know, you have people. There's nothing wrong with either way of it. You know, there's certain people that support the likes of Real Madrid, Barcelona, United when you were growing up because they're winning all the time, and they've got all the success all the time, and that's what they like. You know, like you look at the state of Real Madrid when they don't win, the fans are vile. I couldn't be a part of that kind of fan base. But then you look at the opposite end of the spectrum, you got people that genuinely support grassroots teams. Like I'm talking like they will go to every single game, have all the kit, have all the club badges and stuff like that. But that's their part of it because that's what they enjoy about it. It's like the nitty gritty kind of like, you know, the family side of it. Everyone's like, that's why football's such a mad game, because there's so many different reasons to get into it. But me personally, I don't know. I just never fell in love with the national team. I think
Rob,
growing up now, it'd be hard not to.
What do you think, Rob?
Like Jake, I didn't used to support them a long time ago because they're boring football, but I did buy into the hype of the World Cup, and I do support England a lot more now, because I still believe that the hype has carried on. I don't think the hype's died down yet since the World Cup. I think our hype is still at a high level, just because of all the talents coming through.
Do you think you would say you would support England as much as you support Chelsea?
Probably not.
No?
No. Definitely not.
So,
more of a club fan.
Would you say you support England as much as you support United then?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I don't see why I shouldn't. I can't think like why I'd put United ahead when I maybe before the World Cup, maybe I would have said just United, just because I haven't had a taste of what it's like to be part of a successful England team or part of a successful England fan base. And after that World Cup, just the feeling of celebrating goals in a major tournament and having that bit of hope, it just sort of made me think, wow, like imagine winning a major tournament with England. I think it would just be unreal. But
like I said, I feel like now getting, like, for young kids growing up, like the national team must be great to watch, just because it's exciting. You got all these young players like want to play an exciting brand of football. You know, like when we were kids, like thinking back to when we were like 8, 9 growing up, like it was. What was it, Ericsson at that point?
Yeah,
and then McLaren straight after.
Yeah.
You know, like proper you know, you had all these amazing players playing dreadful football because it was a case of they were managed poorly. Scholes out on the right wing.
Yeah.
Lampard and Gerrard not being able to play in the same midfield as each other. It's just
what a team we had then, though.
Oh, player for player, yeah.
Player
for player, but then it was the whole thing of as well. I think a lot of it came down to the personalities back then. Because you think like there was no sort of community and like togetherness in that camp. Now it seems to be that they're all coming through the same youth academies together, like playing at the same age groups for England and stuff. And there is that togetherness that Southgate's built, and I really do like that. But back then it was like, you know, you'd see, like, I mean, there's loads of stories of where you'd have the Liverpool players going and sitting and eating alone with the Liverpool players, Chelsea with the Chelsea, because there was all them big rivalries at the top of the table. I think it's honestly a factor of, like, there's not that many. I mean, to be fair, you look at what happened between Trent and Gomez and Sterling. That's probably like more similar to what it probably used to be like with the rivalries. Because there's not that many big English players in both teams at the minute. Yeah, you got Stones and Sterling really for City and Walker, but there's no one really on the level of what Gerrard, Lampard, Carragher, Terry were at that point. Or maybe that's going to start again. I don't know.
Well, you mentioned one of the other reasons last week or earlier in the week about why you don't support England. It's because of the sort of disrespect you get from the rest of the country towards Liverpool fans and Liverpool in general. But you say that the team playing well now, you would have, with the team how they're playing now, you maybe would have supported them.
I don't think I'd say support them, because I think support.
Basically, what I'm trying to ask is, if the team was playing like it is now when you were younger, would you have supported England?
I'd find it a lot more easy to get into. I can't say for certain, but like I said, there's a lot of shit that people outside, like Liverpool's always been kind of bookmarked as like an area that the rest of England ostracise. It always has been. It's just like it's because it's so different. Like the people seem to be like ostracised from the rest of England in that sense, and it is just, I don't know. I feel like it annoys me the way that there's this whole expectation of, oh yeah, we should all come together as a nation, but then for 90% of the time we're expected to kind of like have the piss taken out of our region, out of the people and stuff, you know, called victims and all sorts, like. But then as soon as England come on, we're supposed to like get up and come together with everyone else.
I think it's sort of become
that's an unfair expectation.
It's become a bit of a vicious cycle with you.
Yeah,
the booing of the national anthem. Like, it's just never going to get better while you're doing that.
I don't think it will. I think it'll take.
If anything, that's going to make it worse.
It strikes to me as very like not on the same level, but the way Catalonia are towards Spain.
Yeah. Like
Catalonia absolutely despise like the central government in Spain, and it's that kind of thing because they feel so like different to the rest. Like it's more political
Liverpool for
probably hard.
independence.
Yeah.
2020.
But I tell you, Liverpool get Merseyside to be its own country.
This is one thing I see a
Football
lot.
referee.
That'd be a great team still.
This is a lot. A thing I see on Twitter a lot. I don't really think it applies to any other club in the country really, but I see it on Liverpool Twitter a lot, where a lot of Liverpool fans are telling other Liverpool fans that they shouldn't be Liverpool fans because of their political stance. Like,
in the sense of what, supporting the Tories?
yeah.
I think that comes down to obviously the whole Hillsborough shit with.
Yeah, I
the fact
understand
the
it, but
Tory government and that.
what do you
But
think, being from the area?
I think honestly, politics shouldn't come into football. Like, I think it the way, especially this area as well. I feel like because Liverpool's such a Merseyside in general is a working class area. The likelihood is you're gonna vote Labour or be a lot more kind of like socialist in your views because it's gonna benefit you because you're from this kind of area. And obviously there was the whole debacle and like back with Hillsborough, the Tory government and Thatcher and stuff. That's kind of I mean, like all these people that are in like high class positions look down on the Northwest in particular. It's that kind of thing. I think, you can support Liverpool and be conservative. I don't think there's anything exceptionally wrong with that, but I can understand why people feel away about it. Like politics shouldn't come into football. It shouldn't. Like football's like a game that's there for entertainment. It should be like there to enjoy.
Yeah, it's for enjoyment.
And like it's for inclusion for everyone. And that's where for me personally, I hate all the politics, like all that side.
Football should be a break from politics.
Exactly.
It should be a separate world.
Exactly.
And what do we make of the Joe Gomez and Raheem Sterling incident? Do you think it's a good thing that there's rivalries between the players? Like,
it was a good thing to begin with, but it's just all escalated.
I think it could have been dealt with so much better. Like, I think whoever
privately.
Honestly, I think Southgate's really had a bit of a blunder there.
Yeah.
Because how many times at clubs does that happen where there's bust-ups and, players have little scraps? Because it's such a competitive game and you got people there that are really, like, getting into, the competition element of it. There is going to be boilovers. And at the end of the day, like, why bring that to public attention? It could have been dealt with in a case of, because it's not like Gomez is harbouring ill feelings towards him.
No.
He's come out and went, do you know what?
We've
sorted it. It's been squashed, blah, blah, blah. Let's just... Southgate could have very easily came out and went, do you know what?
Did we cover this last week?
Possibly.
I'm trying to think whether it was the podcast we deleted. I feel like we might have done, so we'll move on from
Possibly.
that anyway. I think one thing I did want to talk about was what we mentioned about supporting your club. Like, the reasons why we support the clubs we do.
Yeah, definitely.
Because that was something that we spoke about on the deleted podcast, and I quite like that because
What's it called?
I get a lot of stick back home for supporting United, but I'm from York, which is obviously not got a Premier League team, and I do follow my local team. I do follow York quite closely.
Ball boy, man.
Yeah, I've been a ball boy. What do you make of the sort of glory hunting label? Because when you're a child growing up, my parents went into football, so it wasn't like I supported the same club as my parents because they had no interest in football. I just chose a team that I enjoyed watching.
Must have been the same
Is there
for
any
you,
problem with that? Do you think
it's the same with me? I enjoyed watching Chelsea. I was brought up in a heavily football orientated family. All my family, they support Everton, so I was not forced per se to support Everton, but until I was able to make my own choice, I chose the team that I most enjoyed watching, and that was players like Lampard, like Drogba, and that I just loved watching them, so I thought I'm just going to follow these players wherever they go.
Yeah.
And then I started to grow attached to the club in general, more players at the club, the way they played. I got attached to that, and I'm fine with dealing with being called a glory hunter through my childhood years just because of that.
I respect that. I respect that you've not been influenced. You just made your own decision. You've stuck with it. It would have been easy as a kid to be like, "Oh, I support Chelsea," and then being like, "Oh no," and you've just been like, "All right, fair enough."
It's a weird one though, isn't it? Because I feel like there's so many different. Like I said before, there's so many different reasons to kind of support a football club. Yeah. Like you've got obviously, glory hunter's a bit of a weird term because I feel like
you'd change teams every year.
Yeah, glory hunters.
I feel like if you're supporting a football club, it's almost like in a way it's like a marriage, innit? You can't support in that club like through thick and thin. You're making that commitment to it. Whereas what I don't agree with is when people are kind of flittering, like they'll go from Chelsea and then they might go and support City because they're the team at the top, and then Barcelona and Real Madrid just happens to be their two favourite clubs. It's like That's wrong.
That
I feel
really
like,
doesn't sit right with me. That.
like that genuinely, like it's not a good trait to have, because it's almost like football is about loyalty in a sense, like for the fans anyway. It's about having that affiliation.
People like that who are talking about, I just can't take seriously when we talk about
Literally, because it's like,
Yeah.
well, you don't really get what football's about then, if that's what you're doing. But it's like, I know, like, well, what made you support Liverpool then, right? Because I know obviously a lot of Northern Irish probably would do anyway, because Liverpool fans are very kind of, it's got a lot of history. But like, what made you?
Well, my local club, for example, down where I'm from, it's like we're a second division side. We're tiny, like we are a tiny club, but I do follow them and all. But like, I just love football too much, and I follow the Premier League so much, and it's hard to like follow something and not root for a team. So I don't feel bad. Like no one's ever given me abuse for like supporting Liverpool, but
What made you like actually choose Liverpool?
Well, whenever I was 6, my family took me to. My dad was a West Ham fan, but as far as I remember, I don't think he tried getting me to support him. But yeah, my older brother was a Liverpool fan as well. And whenever I was 6, we went to Anfield for a game against Man City before we got all of it oil money.
Which game was it? Do you remember the score on that?
2-1.
Who scored? I'm genuinely. I'm trying to think what game it would have been.
It was in the 2004 season, before the Champions League.
Oh Christ!
I can't actually remember who scored. All I know is Robbie Fowler was playing for City. That's one thing I remember most.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, and then like, sure, what I'm at the age of 6, I'm at Anfield and all. You can't turn back from that.
Yeah,
that's my decision made for me.
Well, I mean, I think I mentioned it on the other podcast. For all the viewers back home, like I think I said, didn't I? My granddad tried to raise me an Evertonian. There is pictures out there of me in an Everton kit from when I was maybe like 1 or 2. But
so you're a glory hunter.
I mean, yeah, probably conscious. But it was a case of like, he obviously tried. Like, he was like an influence on me. Like he was only like male influence on me as a kid in terms of like the football side of it. So it got to the point there where I actually started taking an interest in watching football, and it was Liverpool who I first started watching. On the likes of the telly, I got taken to Anfield. God, I can't even. I'm trying to think. My first game would have been, I think, Wigan. It was. Do you know which game it was? It was the game where Peter Crouch scored his first couple of goals for the club. Yeah. But I'd been into it previously, the likes of the Champions League final. It's like, it's all the atmosphere, like that proper got me. Like the family feel, like the club, and like all like the singing, the great players. Like, Xabi Alonso is still my favourite footballer's played in this like last 20, 30 years. Sure, I don't know what it was about him, but it was just having him play for Liverpool was like, okay, well, I support him, so I support the club as well.
Yeah.
I don't know, but and even then, we've been through some dire times. I've been a fan. I've never thought about not supporting Liverpool.
Here's a question for you. Growing up, it doesn't have to necessarily be with your club, but what is your favourite memory of football growing up?
For me,
not playing it itself, but actually like watching it.
For me, it was the 2008 Champions League final. I've never been so happy, and I couldn't. I remember not being able to sleep. I think it would have been a school night. Would have been a Sunday night? I feel like I had to go to sleep for some reason, and I just couldn't, because I was just so excited. It had gone to penalties, and Van der Sar was my favourite player at the time, because I grew up as a keeper when I was younger.
Did you actually?
Yeah.
Hey. Oh, crash.
Yeah, no, I hung up the gloves after I turned about 12, 13. Yeah?
I said, you think I'll beat the keeper on that.
Yeah, my finishing has not been good since I've come outfield. But, yeah, there was something about that game that just really, really gave me a taste for what it was like to win a massive trophy with your club, and I absolutely loved that game. The Ronaldo header, the drama of going to penalties, and makes my heart flutter thinking about it.
A real fond memory I have is just growing up, like what age are you, like 8 or 9, and you just wait like for remember ITV coverage, Clive
yeah,
every Tuesday and Wednesday. Yeah, every week there would be one game televised. So like if Liverpool United, Arsenal, and Chelsea, for like across the group stages, like maybe Liverpool will get 2 and all, and you just look out. One game I remember in particular is Liverpool versus Besiktas for 8-0.
Oh God, Yossi Benayoun hat-trick.
Televised on a Wednesday night. Clive tells his commentator, just mum whinging to go to bed, and and what I was feeling about, I seen the other day for BT Sports have got for rights to for Champions League once more for a few more years. And although I appreciate what BT do, as in they televise all the games, we get the highlights on YouTube. I was just brought up with it on ITV, and there's just something about it. The nostalgic value of it. I would love for it to come back one day.
Must be a few memories you can look back on and be a Chelsea fan, because
I forgot to laugh at you when I talked about the 2008 final.
Well, my favourite memory's obviously got to be the Champions League final. Just my favourite picture is literally the one of Drogba holding out, running. It's one of my favourite moments. And then the next year we go and win the Europa League, which is brilliant. Branislav Ivanovic with that looping header and then getting on top of the crossbar celebrating. There's a lot of good recent memories that I could go over, but it's got to be the Champions League. Obviously, it's the only ever Champions League in the club's history. That
gives me goosebumps.
Yeah.
As a United fan, and before the season, I really just didn't like Chelsea, like a lot of people. No offence, but still, the Drogba header and the penalty, it still gives me goosebumps
as well. Gary Neville's
Drogba!
It's the Torres one. It's a weird one because I was kind of too young to appreciate the 2005 final. Yeah. You know, the big, obviously Istanbul. Looking back on it, was such an achievement, and I remember where I was when I watched it, and I remember kind of being there. Obviously, actually watching it, but I don't remember any of the game. I don't remember how I felt after it. But I think the first big final I watched after that would have been that I could appreciate was the 2006 FA Cup final. You're seeing Gerrard equalise in the last minute. It's after it was such a back and forth game between us and West Ham, and I tell you, that was amazing. But then I think the other one as well. I don't think I've ever celebrated a goal more than looking back, it weren't exactly the fondest of memories now, but it was the 2013-14 season where we ran City to the title, and the Coutinho goal in the City game. I don't think I've ever celebrated a goal as much as that. Because at that point, obviously, in hindsight, it wasn't to be, but I thought we were going to win it because it was such a mad moment, and but even that, though, I still look back on that with fondness because it was how it made me feel at the time.
Yeah.
Even that Champions League run the other year, that made me feel so good. Even though we got to the final and lost, it's the memories you make along the way of watching it and stuff. It was it's not all about winning. Like I said before, how miserable of an existence would you have if all you valued in football was winning?
Yeah.
Because 90% of the time you'd be fucking miserable.
I said a quote in the last podcast which was deleted, which was quite deep, but I stick by it. And I always think back to Gerrard Slip at Liverpool. You have to go through the hard times in football to appreciate the good times.
You do. You really do. It's like work as well, isn't it? Imagine doing something you absolutely hate for that, your whole career that gets you a load of money. You can go on one holiday a year. That's amazing. Or you do something every single day of your life that you enjoy, that kind of makes your quality of life amazing 90% of the time, but you might not get that 10% of a holiday in Bora Bora or something. I think you've got to have a happiness and be able to find joy in the small things in football.
Yeah, it's the little things.
It's the Sean Longstaff and Matthew Longstaff stuff.
Just little nice things like that.
It is.
Just a nice bit of skill, like a screamer.
Nice bit of play. The Arsenal tiki-taka goals.
Yeah.
Right, a couple of years ago.
Let us know on YouTube and Twitter what your...
Yeah, what's your favourite memory, your earliest memory, and why support the clubs you do? We briefly mentioned Chelsea.
Obviously, we've got an expert.
Another link though. Jose Mourinho. I feel like we've got to get that out there early as possible because it is the big story.
No.
And I want to get Rob's thoughts on Jose Mourinho as a manager and whether you think he'll be successful.
Oh, he'll be successful, but I don't like it. I absolutely hate it.
What do you hate?
The man now. I hate Jose now.
For going to Tottenham?
Yeah. The first thing I said when he joined Man United was, at least it's not Tottenham or Arsenal. And now it is Tottenham. So, it could have been anybody. He could have.
Do you seriously see Tottenham as that big of a rival, though?
Yeah.
I feel with Arsenal, there was that whole thing of, the other big club in London. Tottenham aren't that big.
Mourinho, Wenger.
I don't think Tottenham have ever been a threat to you.
Well, of recent years they have been, but...
Yeah, but it's almost like Everton to us at the minute. It's just annoying little brothers.
But do you remember the game where Chelsea beat Tottenham to deny them the league?
Yeah.
Leicester won.
Yeah.
That was a feisty game, that. But what would you have thought of Mourinho? What did you think of Mourinho before he went to Tottenham? What were your opinions on him? Because obviously he's been sacked twice by your club.
At Chelsea, I absolutely loved him. The man's a winner. He's one of the best managers of all time. I loved him, his personality. And then it's like the Suarez situation with Liverpool fans. When he was at Liverpool, he's the most angelic player alive, and then when they played them in the Champions League, he's the devil.
Yeah.
He was the devil. He was diving left and right. That's what it feels like with Jose Mourinho. I absolutely loved him when he was at Chelsea. Now he's Judas now. But
what do you think went wrong for him at Chelsea?
Possibly, I think it was the fans' turn against him, really, because he obviously plays a very defensive football, but it gets you wins. It's like the chant for Arsenal, where it's the 1-0 to the Arsenal. That chant, they didn't enjoy the football then, and who was the manager then? I can't remember, but it wouldn't have been Wenger. But I don't think the fans were enjoying it like we are enjoying it right now. We're enjoying it a lot under Lampard, because we could lose and we'd still play brilliantly. Like against Liverpool in both occasions this season, we played some really good football. They were both great matches. But I also think Mourinho, I know we've been quite bankrolled. Well, not quite. We've been very bankrolled through the year. Yeah. I don't think he's been able to get the players that he wants. I know that sounds very.
Do you think he can get
audacious.
them at Tottenham though?
Well,
honestly, I look at the way that
Daniel
Levy ran that club. Like I've said it in the previous podcast, that club is too well run to be ultimately at the top of the football chain, because it's very well run business, but it's never going to get to the point of Real Madrid, Barcelona, these super clubs that can generate that spend big to kind of win big.
I don't even think with Mourinho what frustrated him at United wasn't the money itself, it's where it was getting spent. They were signing players that were more for a commercial value and that Ed Woodward wanted than what Mourinho wanted.
Yeah. Pogba's the big
and I feel like he might get that at Tottenham. He might get more of a say in what players are signed. Maybe not. He may not have a massive budget, but I feel like he might have more of a say, and that's what he'll have been negotiating.
I look at the way that they've been run over the last couple of years as well, and it's been with this whole kind of emphasis on we're building a team. It's going to be a project. Poch is here to stay. This is his team. He's going to get given the time. And I said it at the start of the season, didn't I? Like the first podcast we did. My prediction was that he'd go, and I thought that someone like Eddie Howe come and replace him. And I thought it'd be like, almost like a new chance for a new young manager. But I feel like just Mourinho, it's such a difference. It's like,
I think it's a stabiliser for them.
I think honestly he's got to be a stopgap, because I look at it and I'm like, as expensive as he'll be, he's never going to be a long-term manager. Like he's proven that he's never done it.
Yeah.
And it's like, for a club like Tottenham, I'm guessing that the idea must be get him in, get a bit of success, get
maybe
a bit more money,
win a trophy,
win a trophy, just to kind of get that monkey off the back. But even then, though, it's like after that, I feel like they'll be in the same situation as United after that, especially if they don't, even if they win or if they don't win. Because once you kind of have a manager like that, you then start that cycle of, okay, well, who do we get next to stop the gap until we find someone we want? Okay, well, he might not be available. It's a dangerous game to play, to be fair.
What do you think if he does well for them, though? Gets them in the Champions League, gets them to the final again, maybe even wins the Champions League. What if he gets back in form, then he becomes a very hot commodity then again, and teams are going to want to snap him up? Because
that's what I'm saying. He won't stay there long.
If he performs really well and carries on performing, he could possibly be the predecessor of Jurgen Klopp.
It's almost a lose-lose, isn't it?
I don't think... I don't feel like he'll go to Liverpool at any stage.
Who do you think would take
Real
over
Madrid?
from
maybe
Klopp?
take him back.
Yeah, I'd say. Well, actually, I don't know. Because I think he enjoyed being at Real.
I don't think Gerrard's good enough. I don't think Gerrard's a good enough manager. Pep Linders should take over from Klopp.
You got to remember, Klopp's in his 5th year now? 5th, I want to say.
I'd love to say
4.5, 5th year. And I think he said that he said that he wants to have Liverpool as his last club.
Yeah,
now he's only a young fella as well for a manager anyway. He's 50s, like early 50s.
Yeah, you see Roy Hodgson, obviously.
Yeah, like he could keep going for a while.
Yeah,
and it's just a case of whenever he gets tired of it,
when he's done.
Yeah, I think he definitely wants to win a league at Liverpool.
I was going to say, do you not think his job will be done when he wins league at Liverpool?
I think honestly,
Because that's
I think
what he's
so.
been brought.
I don't know
in
if
to
his
do.
job would be done, but I think
His
can.
task completed.
I will literally trade. If Klopp left Liverpool after a winning league title, I would literally view it as how I viewed Michael O'Neill with Northern Ireland. He's took us as far as he can.
Yeah.
There will be
What
no,
I would say about Klopp though, I wouldn't want it to go the way that it went at Dortmund, where you almost he almost got forced out by the end. Because obviously he never got sacked, but he didn't kind of
I wouldn't want him to leave mid-season.
I wouldn't want him to leave where it's got to the point where the team's almost been run down. You know, the way it's happened to Poch at Tottenham. Now, I think that team just got tired. Because working in that kind of environment for so long, them players must be sick of hearing his voice. And it's not a knock on him. That's just the kind of manager he must be. He must be very intense. He asks a lot of his players. I feel like there's only so long he can stay at that intensity. That's why Guardiola never stays around nowhere too long.
Yeah, he gets bored.
It's not he gets bored. The players can't keep it up.
Can't keep up with the intensity.
That Barcelona team. He said that after I think they won the treble. Was it no? They won 5 trophies in 1 year. Was it?
Yeah.
After you achieve that much success, it's so hard to motivate a team again and to keep them up at that same intensity. I think it's just they need that. They need something fresh.
If you're trying to put the intensity up after winning 5 trophies, what else have they got to play for?
This is why whoever who's it that took over from Zidane? Was it Lopetegui?
Yeah.
Originally it was Solari. Sorry, no, not
I think it was.
Was it Lopetegui originally?
It was Lopetegui when he left Spain, didn't he?
Yeah.
And then it went to Solari.
I think Lopetegui, he had a thankless task going to Madrid.
Yeah.
That team had won 4 Champions Leagues back to back. It was 3, 4. 3 back. 4 and 5 years though, wasn't it?
Yeah.
How do you motivate a team of stars? How do you tell them anything? After they've done that, because they're not asked, they don't want to know.
Yeah, they're already
at the top of the game. They don't need to do anything
they're
more.
superstars, even if they're players like Danny Ceballos at Real Madrid. He thinks he's a superstar because he's got Champions League medals.
He's got 4 of them.
Yeah, exactly.
Speaking about this, and for older I get, for more I appreciate Alex Ferguson.
Yeah. Oh, Fergie's amazing.
Manager to do that year after year.
The best thing he did was he kept that kind of stalwart of likes of Giggs, Scholes. It was really Giggs and Scholes, wasn't it? Neville, sorry, that was the one I was thinking of. He kept them kind of stalwarts, and he'd bring in new stars. The way he reinvented teams.
Yeah.
What was it? 3 or 4 teams he had, big teams that were successful. Because he had his original team, the title winning team. He had the 1999, the early 2000s. Sorry, the 2008 team. And then he had his last team as well. He was a master man.
It could very easily be the only time something like that happens in football.
Definitely.
I don't think we're going to see anybody as.
I don't feel like it's too. Football's become too cyclical now. It's such a fast turning sport in that sense.
Just a conveyor belt.
Anyway, we'll get back to Chelsea because that's what Rob's been on to talk about.
Yeah.
Just before I move on, Jose Mourinho, will he be a success at Tottenham? Yes or no?
Yes.
Is that open to the panel?
To everyone. Rob thinks yes. Ryan?
I can't see him doing anything better than Pochettino has achieved, to be honest.
So no.
What would you?
It depends on what you mean as success.
Yeah,
I don't think he's going to be a failure where he's not.
Is he going to?
Trophy.
Yeah. Is he going to make Tottenham better than they were?
No,
they were.
I don't think so.
Pochettino.
No, I don't think you're getting better than they were, but then I think he could definitely get top 4
I don't think Mourinho will get to the Champions League final.
Yeah.
But I could think Mourinho could win them an FA Cup.
I think he might. I'm going to back him. I think he might do well.
I think he could bring him short-term success, but I think the actual that team after he's finished with them could genuinely plummet.
Yeah, I think that's what they brought him in for, short-term success for maybe, like you say, someone like Eddie Howe or how old's Chris Wilder now? Chris Wilder's a brilliant English manager.
Yeah. Do you know what I'm gutted though? My start of season prediction was Olly gets sacked, Poch go to United, and Howe go to Tottenham. That's already gone to shit, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Fuming. I was genuinely when that first happened and Poch got sacked. I was like, oh yes, it's happening, boys.
I am
fuming.
I am future man.
Anyway, since Mourinho's left Chelsea, you've had a bit of a turbulent time, but now with Lampard in charge. Rob, what are your thoughts?
I'm loving it.
Loving it.
Of course, I am. Third at the moment. Probably not after the weekend, but the football we're playing brilliant. The players that are coming through, Mount exceeded all expectations of him. I know he's brilliant at Derby. Tammy, double-digit goals already. Tomori, Jesus Christ, he's a rock at the back.
I know you said he was the one you're most surprised
I
about.
was so surprised that he's been as good as he is. I know he's got the pace, but it's the only thing that I've been a bit worried about for Tomori is maybe his composure, because sometimes when he'll try and clear it, he'll slice it and they'll be in on net, and Kepa or Zuma will have to get him out of that mess. But he's been brilliant. Reece James coming back now.
I like Reece James.
Just, oh God.
I tell you, Reece James
He
is
looks a
player.
real player.
Like I said last time, didn't I? Like, well,
Yeah.
I think he's going to be England's future right back.
I think. I
Obviously-
still think Trent. If we're going for traditional fullback, which is a defender, then James all day. If we're going for a modern fullback, which is an attacker now, it's Trent all
No,
day.
but I think, that's what I said though. I think James can do both. He's kind of the best of
Yeah.
both worlds, isn't he? I think Trent's got a future in midfield.
Definitely.
I think Trent's a far more promising player than James in that sense, anyway.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, in the midfield.
I think he's got to play midfield, Trent. But James, I see, is like he's amazing.
With all these young players coming through at Chelsea, Rob, do you think the transfer ban's benefited you, and do you want it to be lifted or not?
I definitely don't want it to be lifted. It has 100% helped us at the moment, because there's a feel-good factor at the club at the moment with Lampard. Lampard knew how it was to come through. Well, at West Ham, you know how it was to come through as a young player up in a big team. So he knows how it feels. He knows that they need game time to progress at all. So that's what was the problem under managers like Mourinho, like Sarri, who was basically refused to play Callum Hudson-Odoi, even though he's shown how good he is this year. 3 assists in 4 Premier League games. He's been on fire. But I don't want it to be upheld, because then it'll just be like the old days where it'll be a conveyor belt then. We've still got loads of good young players that have made minimal appearances. Billy Gilmore made his not full debut, but he's made some appearances in the Premier League. Angerin was played against Grimsby. We've got Jamie Cummins as our backup keeper at the moment. I know Caballero's there, but I believe Cummins is a lot better than him. But if it does get up, I think we do need to strengthen at the defence.
Yeah, what in next summer? That's when it's lifted, isn't it?
Yeah.
What do you think you need?
I think we do need a player like Van Dijk, a commanding centre back, a world class centre back that's going to sort out the defence. You've seen Liverpool. He just went in there and sorted it all out, and look how good all of them look now. Matip's probably been the best performing defender this year.
But say you did go out and get like a Koulibaly, for example. I know Chelsea fans rave about Rudiger and obviously Tomori's growth. So who's being in place?
And then what about Christensen as well?
We've got a load of. We've got Zuma. He's still young. Zuma's very clumsy.
I don't like. I mean, bar his little like foray forward in that Champions League game against Ajax. Like, I've never thought he was a player.
I love Kurt.
Yeah, that's. Can we just mention that really quickly?
God.
That genuine. I think we were watching it in the bar in Amsterdam, weren't we? We were crying with laughter because he beat about 3 players, got to the edge of the box, a step over 2, and then he's remembered he's a centre back and was like, "Oh shit, I need to clear this."
Boom!
Absolute rugby punt. Fucking great.
I think I've always rated him. I thought he was a good player until he got that injury against United, that horrible knee
I don't know.
injury.
I just thought because he was at Everton on loan, wasn't he as well?
Yeah.
Stoke. He's had all sorts of
He
loans.
was really good at Everton last season.
Was he?
Yeah, he was. He was probably their best defender.
All Everton fans wanted
other
him
than-
back.
Yeah, they
I
do.
didn't think he was that
There
great.
was the whole free Zuma bar culture during the summer because they didn't think he was going to play with Lampard. But
So let's say you did go out and get who would you want Koulibaly, hypothetically?
depending on the price, because obviously Napoli are in mass exodus
Yeah,
at the
so,
moment.
I feel
so,
like he'd come on the cheap now.
so 70 million for someone like Kalidou Koulibaly. Jesus Christ, that would be a steal.
But who are you taking out? Firstly, who are you taking out for starting 11, and then you don't need 5 centre back. I don't think
Could go for a
those
free back.
I don't see like Andreas Christensen being happy with being 5th choice centre back.
Well,
I feel like you are going to have to get rid of someone.
there's been links with him to PSG. Christensen. I don't think.
Who would you have in your starting 11? The
What
two
centre
two
backs?
centre backs?
If we bought
If you got
Koulibaly,
Koulibaly.
if we bought Koulibaly, I think it would have to be Koulibaly and Rudiger. I know I said how good Tomori's been, but you've seen how rocky our defence has been without Rudiger. Rudiger is our star defender, other than I know Aspi. You can say he's a
I think he's a bit past
He's
it
getting
now.
past it now, and that's why it's good for him.
Who's
to be
going to...
mental.
I think, honestly, out of anyone, you just need a left-back.
I love Emerson. I think
Emerson's been good under.
I think
Lampard.
he's a really
Is he good
player.
enough like to
I don't
take his
think.
go
I
forward,
don't think he's. I think there's a lot of left backs in the league that are better than him. There's like Chilwell, there's Dean, there's Robertson, but
Brandon Williams.
With Chelsea, I feel like fair players are very inconsistent for every season. Like one season, William looks like a world beater.
yeah,
And then he just turns to shit. And same with Marcus Alonso. Wasn't
Oh,
he in PFA
he's-
team? He was in PFA team of player one year.
yeah.
I think
And now he just-
he's a weird one because
for
when he first...
Alonso, it's a different situation because at Conte he wasn't a left back.
He was a
He's
left
a
wing
wing
He
back.
was a wing back. He
He
was
can
allowed to
going
bomb
forward, he's great. He's got an
Yeah.
absolute wand, but it's like as soon as he has to go back the other way, it's like
He's fallen over himself. If it's like I don't know. I still do like Emerson, but if
Maybe if
think
you
it's
could
just-
sign someone like on.
if someone like an
If
Alexandro
we could sign
came
someone
available.
like Chilwell, I'd take Chilwell. I wouldn't take Alexandro because I'd take Ben Chilwell, but I think that's it because
unlikely.
Robertson's out of our depth. He's way too good for us. We're not challenging for the title for
It's
him.
not just that, we wouldn't sell to you.
Exactly, yeah.
We're in that position now.
Luca Dean's obviously great, but
It's not, that's not an
I-
impossible
I
move.
think
I think Luca
Everton-
Dean, you'd be able to get him. I don't think he costs that
Everton
much
are gonna
either.
do everything in there.
Jamal Lewis.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck off.
Yeah, Jamal Lewis is great. Max Aarons as well. Max Aarons is a Chelsea fan from Norwich.
Right back though, isn't he?
Yeah, but he can play on the left.
Oh.
Max Aarons
So
can
you've
play
had a pretty good step. Well, your season's almost exceeded what
on-
most
expectations.
most
No.
Chelsea fans could expect. But right now, after the way you started, what do you want from this season?
I want at least European football.
Actually, wait, what do you want and what do you expect? That's probably the two best.
I expect. It's hard to say with Frank Lampard's first season because he's going to be given time even if he does end up 7th or something just because of the fans' affinity towards him. But I do expect Champions League football from a team, not Champions League, at least European football from a team like Chelsea. Whether we get it or not, I'm not entirely sure, but I still.
So you're still not certain whether you'd even get Europa League football.
I don't know, because there's if we get a couple of injuries, we're like Tammy gets injured, we're screwed.
But then that's like any team though. I feel like you shouldn't be. It shouldn't really. It's like if we get a few injuries,
Salah and Mane get injured.
Yeah,
I wouldn't even say
Season's
that.
over.
I think if Van Dijk goes down, we're really struggling.
Well,
You know,
Matip,
the two
Matip went
fullbacks.
down for a bit, and it was a bit rocky with Lovren or something.
Oh god, the fact that he's still at the football club baffles me. Genuinely one of the worst footballers that I've seen put a red
Carry
shirt
on, Rob.
Yeah, but back to Chelsea.
Sorry.
In my heart, I'm saying that we will get Champions League football. We will get top 4. It's just we're always capable of slipping up, definitely. So I would accept you at the lowest. I'd accept 6th.
Yeah.
So at the last spot.
What do you hope for though?
I hope for top 4. I
Yeah.
definitely hope
What
for top
about
4.
Champions League and Cup competitions?
Would you take a Carabao Cup? Is that doable?
No, we're out of it.
Oh, sorry, FA Cup.
Yeah, you laugh at us. We got knocked out.
That was the Liverpool 4-0, wasn't it?
I'd take the FA.
No, we knocked you out. Sorry, my head's
It
gone.
wasn't even 4-4.
No, that was Ajax.
You been on the piss last night.
I'd take a cup competition. Yeah, it's always nice to lift the FA Cup.
What about Champions League?
Well, I'd love to win that,
But
but
how
I
far
don't-
do you think you should get?
I think we should at least get to the quarterfinals, and I think we can do that. But as you say, with every team, there's always chance for.
Well, one thing I do want to ask as well, I'd be interested to hear your thoughts. With Abraham, obviously, I think he's leading still in the scoring charts.
for Chelsea, or
No, for the league, isn't he?
no, Jamie
He's
Vardy.
second.
Vardy now taking
Vardy's on
over.
11 and Tammy's on 10.
Do you think he can finish season top scorer?
Yeah, he's got
Okay.
yeah, definitely, he's got the capability of doing it. He's got the finish.
Do you not think he'll tail off eventually? Like, obviously you got a tough couple months coming up around
Yeah.
December, January.
I
Yeah.
can see Abraham turning into Kane. Everyone doubting him.
Yeah,
I'm not saying.
Do
Do you know what? I'm not
good.
doubting. I'm just asking the question because
I
I'm like,
honestly believe that he can get 20 goals this season.
Really?
And if he does, even if he gets 18 and doesn't finish top goal scorer, obviously, because the tally's gone up now.
Do you know what I find weird though? It's weird looking at how Solanke and him have kind of went like that.
Yeah.
Because I think
Solanke
because Solanke for the academy at Chelsea was amazing.
He was the big boy at
like
Chelsea.
you know, he was out on loan at Vitesse for a few years. When he was
doing well there.
Good player. And the way that his career's kind of curtailed a little bit, and obviously he's not. And then Abraham's, you know, I mean, imagine if Solanke had stayed around a bit, he could now be leading the line for you.
I know.
But mad to think, innit?
I know. Have we even got what fee did we get from yous?
You've got nothing from us. You've got Tribunal, I think it was like $1 million or something.
Yeah.
But then we managed to get 19 million out of Bournemouth for him.
Jesus Christ.
And
So
he scored one goal.
Maybe Daniel Levy doesn't want Eddie Howe now with knowing that time.
All he do is you just take our rejects again. Dejan Lovren, there you go. Alberto Moreno, there you go. Anyway.
Tammy Abraham made himself a player in the Championship, really, didn't he, for Aston Villa last season? And
segue that off.
Another nice little segue, redeeming myself. We're going to have a brief look at the Championship because someone on Twitter asked us to, and particularly Leeds, and their chances of going up. We're not experts on the Championship, but I have said to myself that I'm going to try and watch it a bit, at least watch the highlights or have them on so I can improve my knowledge on it. But what teams do we think will go up from the Championship?
I think Leeds, West Brom and Notts Forest. Nottingham Forest, not Notts Forest. I think Nottingham Forest are going to go
up. To be honest,
who'd we like to see go up?
Honestly, Leeds are the one. Like Leeds for me. Yeah. Just it's literally one reason only. Marcelo Bielsa. The guy is a crackpot, and I love it. He is literally he's dynamite. Do you know what I mean? So the quotes he came out with, I think I mentioned on the last one. The quote he made about he'd never lose a game if none of his players were human. That's genuinely ludicrous.
Oh man!
But imagine the amount of coverage he's got. I mean, especially with all the Spygate stuff that he got last year over with your fella Frank Lampard.
Yeah.
Him getting Premier League coverage every week, it'd be amazing. Especially being sports journalists. I think all of us can agree.
Yeah.
Having someone like that in the Premier League be
a character.
Gold.
Right, what we're reporting on this week, Bielsa again.
Literally. He would be front. He's back page material every single week.
He's bound to do something that'll get him in the paper.
I'd also like to see, which you might find surprising, I'd also like to see Leeds go up. Considering I'm a United fan, that is weird, but I just think it's time to restart that rivalry again. It'd be so good to have another big game on the calendar. You look forward to. That's gonna be a tasty one.
I know Ryan was saying last night, not last night, the other podcast, having them big away days again. It's like you'd look forward to going to Ellen Road. You'd when
the City Ground at Forest.
Yeah, exactly. All these big
clubs.
grounds. It'd be a nice change.
I quite liked Fulham in the league as well. I like Craven Cottage.
It's a nice ground.
Craven Cottage, but I'm not sure about Fulham.
They've Scott Parker in charge now. They're playing some nice football.
Yeah.
I'm just surprised that West Brom and Preston are doing so well, to be honest.
I'd like to see. It's always nice to have one sort of smaller club that's not been there for a while, like
when
Preston.
Huddersfield came up, we were all buzzing.
Yeah.
But then, after 2 years, you're right, hurry up and get relegated.
Go away, you're terrible.
But I think the Championship, it's such an entertaining division because of how many sort of semi-big clubs and clubs that have very recently been in the Premier League are all fighting, and it's so open.
I mean, imagine trying to do a fucking ACCA on that.
It's just impossible.
You'd have no chance.
Every time you see the Championship come up on Super 6, I just write it off and think there's no chance I can predict it. Because one week, Birmingham are beating West Brom. Next minute, West Brom are losing to Barnsley. Obviously that probably hasn't happened, but it's just so...
that kind of, it is that wild,
There's no assurances of who's going to win games.
I think it's because it's all very level playing field, isn't it? All the teams, it's just a case of if you pick up a good bit of form, you've got someone that can score your goals regularly. That's why I think Fulham might actually come back up, at least through the playoffs, maybe. Just because having Mitrovic,
he's in 14 goals.
He's bagging him in. Do you know what I mean?
It's like teams like Huddersfield were in the Premier League last season. They're down in 19th. Stoke were a staple of the Premier League, and they're slipping down. Blackburn are down there.
Middlesbrough Premier League side not too long ago. Wigan.
Sunderland were League One.
Reading, Derby, all these.
Derby in Championship playoff last year. Now they're 16th. There's just no assurances.
I think to be fair, though, they had so many players on loan last year.
Yeah.
I think they lost Mount, Wilson,
Tomori,
and then obviously the whole stuff of Richard Keogh happening was a bit. bit of rocky waters.
But I think being a fan of a Championship club would be quite exciting. I think
it would be, yeah.
Just that, to have the knowledge that you can beat any team. Like, there's no. You don't go into a season thinking, "Oh, City and Liverpool are going to dominate this." You go into a season like not even expecting anything. But like, if you are a Luton Town coming up, you think, why couldn't we push promotion? Obviously, they haven't, but. Strange things can happen in that league.
The best example, you look at Southampton a few years ago, like going back where didn't they come up through like every single division. Yeah. Bournemouth did the same.
And Bournemouth did the same, and now look at them, they're an established Premier League team.
All it takes is like a few good seasons, and you can literally bounce to back to back, like back to back. But so who do you guys think then will go? Like, give us three each. Three that'll go up. So the two obviously automatic, and then the one playoff place, and then the three that you think will go down.
All right, I'll go first then. Leeds and West Brom automatically. I think that's just confirmed.
Yeah.
And then Nottingham Forest through the playoffs, and then the three teams I think will go down. Barnsley, unfortunately. Luton will, even though. Well, they lost a couple of good players, didn't they? Lost James Justin and Jack Stacey at the start of the season.
Yeah.
So I think they'll definitely go down. And Charlton, I think they'll go down as well.
Yeah, we'll come back to these at the end of the season. Less serious than our Premier League predictions because we haven't got as much knowledge on the league. But it'll be a nice one to see how wrong we got it.
I think I'd hope Leeds will go up.
Yeah.
And join them Forest. No, Forest for the playoffs, sorry. Yeah. And I think Preston will finish in the top 10.
Oh, really?
That's a surprise.
Yeah.
Wow.
Why not? Like Olly was saying, you just never know.
Oh, yeah, you've got no idea.
Why not?
Yeah, why not? Fair enough.
We're going down, I'll have to go for Luton.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Barnsley as well. And I'll say Middlesbrough, big name going down.
Nice.
I think now we've stole Michael O'Neill off our hands and all, and he's a good manager. I don't think
he won his first game, didn't he?
Yeah, I'll put my neck on flight and say Stoke are not getting relegated.
Do you reckon? Will you follow Stoke now that they've got Michael O'Neill?
No. Maybe at the end of the season, just so I can look at Jake and be like, fuck you if you didn't get relegated.
Jake, come on, Jake.
Well, on that vein, 3 relegated teams I'd go for. Because we're gonna go bottom to top first. Stoke are gonna finish dead bottom. Because they got a shite manager who did fuck all. Nah, I'm just going to do that just to spite Rye. Barnsley I think will go down because I don't think they got enough. And Rogue shout, like I said it, Huddersfield. I think Huddersfield might go down.
That is a very big shout.
Absolute slide for them.
Cowley brothers
and promoted teams.
And promoted teams, I think Leeds will go up through the automatic with West Brom. No, tell a lie. I think Leeds will go up automatically with Swansea.
Ooh.
I think Swansea have got enough about them. They played very well last season as well. I think West Brom will be the promoted side through the playoffs.
Well, I'm going to be really, really out there and say Leeds are going to get promoted.
Shocker.
With West Brom.
Hey.
But I'm going to say Fulham through the playoffs.
I
thought they're going to make a push, and with Mitrovic firing him to glory. And I've done a career mode with them, so I like them. So we'll get them up. And down Barnsley, I feel like they're long gone.
Yeah.
Might be wrong. And I'm going to say Luton because I don't like them because they're York City's rivals. I don't know why. It's just something that's just sort of stemmed. And every time York lose a game, which has only been once this season, but prior to that when we've been relegated from the National League, Luton fans are always on the Twitter first to laugh at us. And it's a weird one because York... season York were in the playoffs in League 2, which we didn't unfortunately win. Luton went up, and now they're in the Championship, and we're in National League North. Anyway, little rant over. And I'm going to say Wigan are going to go down.
Somewhere.
I feel like Wigan seem to be a bit all over the place, and I think they're a bit of a yo-yo club. They'll be down without Reece James there. They'll struggle.
Okay, so I think we've covered the Championship.
Yeah, so hopefully... I know
it's probably to the best of our knowledge.
Yeah, we've done the best we can. It's been a little nice one. Just because it was international football this week.
What big football news has been breaking then?
Well, I've written a few down. One from the international break was the Bale incident, or the flag that he's revealed. I found that quite funny. I don't know about you.
It said What did it say? It said
Wales.
Golf, Madrid in that order.
Oh wow, I love that. He
And
just doesn't give a fuck, does he?
They made a chant, didn't they?
He doesn't give a fuck.
They went out Wales, Golf, Madrid.
I know, I rate it. I think
I
he's
really
been
do.
disrespected by that club.
Yeah,
Why
literally.
shouldn't he?
Like
If it
literally,
was any other club,
I was
I'd
gonna
be
say.
a bit disrespectful.
Madrid
Yeah,
don't give a
Madrid.
fuck, man.
Bale could be scoring 50 goals a season. He'd have one bad game. He'd be getting booed.
This
Well, he
is-
scored
this
2
is
in the
football
Champions
club.
League final.
Sorry, this is a football
There you
club
go.
that booed
Exactly.
Cristiano Ronaldo. They don't give a fuck.
Exactly.
Like,
So-
did you see? Like, the best thing about Real Madrid for me was like the Iker Casillas press conference at the end. There was no like he was dead emotional. No one gave a shit. Like it was like, oh yeah, see you, mate. Compare that to when Xavi left Barcelona down the fucking road. It's like there was tears from all the fans. Those fans are brutal. You've got to be a different level of psychopath to be able to play for Real Madrid.
Spoiled brat as well.
Yeah.
When on the unveiling of Hazard, they just chanted for Mbappe the whole time there.
I tell you, they are like them kids at school that like it's like which Harry Potter film is it where like the
Draco Malfoy.
No, not even that. Where the family Harry lives with, like, is
Oh yeah, Dudley.
yeah, where he gets 27 Christmas presents instead of 30.
It's not enough.
It's like it's that kind of thing of like they're just spoiled. They're fucking horrible.
It's just funny because Bale, he's not really playing anyway,
No.
and he's just still going to get paid by him $300k a week. So
But, I mean,
he's just
to be
laughing,
fair,
really, isn't he?
You say that, but I mean, in a sense, they've kind of fucked him off a little bit because he could have been earning like
I
what
was
was it,
gonna
$1 million
say,
a week
Yeah, he
in
could have been
China.
doing the same thing in China.
He could have been earning twice what he's getting.
Oh, another one that I've just thought of: the rumours that Mourinho wants to bring Bale to Tottenham.
Oh wow,
I'd quite like Tottenham
Yeah.
coming back to Tottenham.
I'd be
It'd
scared.
be a good move for him.
Yeah.
I'd be very scared.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a move he should have already
Imagine
made.
that attack then.
A front three of Bale.
Bale,
Son and
Son,
Kane.
and
Son.
Kale.
I'd be
Oh
terrified.
Lord.
Just think of how good Bale was for Tottenham when he had to carry that team on his back.
Still
If
on
he
the-
can stay-
Morris still on the bench.
If he can stay fit, Bale.
Mate, he's never getting
Morris
off that
sat on
bench,
the
bro.
bench still like, what the
Mate,
hell?
like he scored a hat trick in the Champions League semi-final and couldn't get on the couldn't get in the first 11 for the
He's
final.
doing that thing, you know, where the guy went, what the fuck, you can't see me. You can't see me.
Bale would be a class sign if he stays
It would be
fit.
amazing.
Yeah.
Another one I wrote down was the Anfield expansion. What are your thoughts on that?
Is that the Annie Road end?
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
No, Anfield Road, yeah.
Brilliant. like it, like the more the bigger the capacity, like the better, really, innit? Just means that we'll actually there's more chance we'll be able to get to the game. Like I know, Rye, you might agree with me. Like it's so hard to get tickets now.
No.
Like it's near on impossible, and like obviously with more more capacity, there's more chance to get it. So great.
And the last set stand has been a success.
Yeah,
Why not?
I can't see why anyone would be against making it bigger.
Do you reckon they could lower the ticket prices if they've got more seats?
They could do, but they won't.
They could do, but the likelihood is they won't.
Because they won't lose any money if they lowered the prices, but they've got more seats.
Yeah, but these are you got to remember, Rob. The rich know how to stay rich.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like these people are not stupid. Like they know for a fact
Just
that
inflate the
It's only,
prices. as well.
something's only going to happen if AFA and Premier League do something about
Yeah,
it. No
they-
club
they
is
got
going
well, I
to
mean,
limits
we
in it.
boycotted the games a few years ago, and it seemed to have a little bit of effect where they froze them. But I don't know. It's gotten to that point now where like they know that they've got the fans on strings.
Mm.
Like they know for a fact that whatever price they charge,
You
that
can
stadium
pay
will
as
be full
much
every
as
week.
You want to go and see Klopp's team.
But it's not even that. It's like they know the fans will like even if the local fans can't afford it, and they price them
Football
out.
fans are gonna.
That stadium will be full. That stadium will be full every week.
It's like they're saying, build it and they will, and they will come.
Literally, like, the amount of times I've been games now, and it is literally like the amount of tourists there that are
Yeah.
watching the game through phones.
I was gonna say it's always for.
Oh,
a phone.
it winds me up. And don't get me wrong, everyone's got their own reason to go to the stadium because it's such like an event now to go and watch
Yeah.
Liverpool. But as a fan, and wanting to be like singing and dancing and jumping and chanting, seeing them literally watching the game through the smartphones, videoing it for mum and dad back home, it's like, what's the point? Go and watch it on Sky Sports. You get a better angle.
Get a 10-second clip, but like, that's it.
Yeah,
I was
like
gonna say you're
live
recording.
in
live in the
whole
moment a little
thing.
bit. Like it's like people that do it at concerts and stuff. You know,
10
get your little
seconds,
get,
get it on your
Yeah,
get
fair
your
enough
little
for
video.
a 10-second memory. But
Yeah, get your little video to take a little bit of a memory of it, and then just watch it. Like watch it with the fucking eyes that you got. Right, you must really agree with me there, considering you have to pay to see. Like, oh, I love you, Roy.
the other one that I thought was a nice one is the Rob. You can pronounce
Use the
the
eye
Copper.
Oh, Copa Libertadores.
Libertadores, the South American Champions League,
No, you haven't.
effectively, between
what's happening?
Flamengo and River Plate. It's been shown on the BBC, so that'll be one we could all watch.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I think that's quite
kinda
good. I
good,
rate that. It is on Saturday at 7:45. So I don't see why anyone would be against watching that. A bit of South American football.
Where's again Palmeiras and?
Flamengo.
Ooh.
I think that'll be a tasty one.
There were a couple of good
Flamengo
players,
and River
A
Plate.
bit
Yeah.
of Brazilian flair on show. And the last thing that I thought was a nice one to end on for sports news was the
34 kick.
penalty shootout English record has been equalled for the longest penalty shootout in English football. Taunton Town and Truro City needed 34 spot kicks to separate them after they drew 2-2 in the Southern League Challenge Cup.
I mean, out of that, it says
And
there, doesn't it?
What's funny, it's not that they were all going in.
I was going to say, what score did it end?
It ended 12-11.
There
So
must have been some terrible penalties within that.
What was the one at Liverpool? Was it Middlesbrough?
Middlesbrough,
Yeah,
where it was like,
It was like
yeah.
11 something.
No, it was like
11,
13,
10 or
14.
something.
Like, 'cause it went back
Oh,
round. Yeah, I remember that. That was.
I think most of them went in as well.
Yeah, they were all really good penalties. I remember,
Oh,
was that that game actually.
Speaking of penalties as well, there was another one that I seen. I can't remember what game it was in. I just remember seeing the video on Twitter. It was in a non-league game. A keeper took a penalty,
I saw that.
and he's absolutely levered it, and it's gone over the bar and broke one of the lights in the stadium.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Oh, what
Wait,
a
the
brilliant.
keepers took it. As
Yeah,
well?
I didn't even notice the first time I watched it, but I seen it come around again, and I realised it was the keeper that took it.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Oh,
He's basically gone to hit it like a goal kick. And he connected with it well.
He smashed the light in the stand
Yeah.
behind the goal.
wow.
And it's lucky no one was stood directly under the light, because the light
Bang!
comes down and he's like dangling by the wires, and it could have very easily hit
Oh.
That would
someone.
be
but-
like a comedy movie.
You'll
that.
need to show me that clip at some point. 'Cause I'm like,
Yeah,
I really
I'll
wanna see
retweet
that.
it on the Twitter.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to the Premier League, and Ryan's got 5 features game for us to predict. If I give him his book back.
Well, yeah, we've already wrote down our predictions, haven't we?
So we'll
Yeah,
just
it
have
can't
to
be going
run
changing
through 'em.
now.
We'll give a little bit.
I think we should just give a bit of a quick reminder.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
ring them off. Just have to update the quiz scores here.
He's still salty.
Yes.
So what are the quiz scores out of interest?
Well, you know what's nice to see? Rob winning means he's been on for a podcast for 1 week, and you two have been on it for 6 weeks, but you have the same score, which is great, refreshing to see. But yeah, 1-1-1-3 practically. And for predictions last week, Augie, you got 1 perfect score and 1 correct score.
What
Same,
games were they in?
for international, it was you predicted England win 4-0 and Wales to beat Azerbaijan. Jake, you got a perfect score as in Wales to win 2-0, and you also predicted Scotland to win. I also predicted Wales to win 2-0, perfect score. Then I got 2 correct scores with England to win and Scotland to win.
I can't believe I was that salty. I predicted England to lose.
So
lose.
we're gonna get Rob in for this week as well. The scores of one was 16-16-18 in the predictions, but yeah. So the first game this week is Bournemouth versus Wolves. Augie, you said 1-1.
Yeah,
Thoughts behind that?
I just think Wolves, they're not as powerful as they were last season going forward, and I think Burnley, they've had a rough few weeks, and I think Sean Dyche ain't gonna roll over easily for him, and I think Chris Wood will bag a goal, and it'll be a 1-1. Ryan, you there?
Yeah,
Are you with us?
I just want to see if I don't answer. I predicted a draw, but I predicted a Bournemouth win. I just think home advantage really.
Bournemouth, I thought it was Burnley.
Bournemouth.
How did I said Burnley.
were
I said
saying
Chris
Dyche.
Wood would score.
Oh.
You said with Sean Dyche as well.
Eddie Howe.
No, right, my bad. I still think it'll be 1-1.
Can't believe none of us noticed that.
Yeah, I think Bournemouth haven't been as good as they have been this season, but at home,
Wolves
I
do
think
love
I back
as well
them.
this season
What
as
was
well.
I back them to get a point at him.
what did I predict?
You predicted 2-1 Wolves.
Oh yeah, well I think I said that neither. This one one of the weeks where Wolves don't have the European competition to worry about, so it's kind of I think that's where they're going to pick up the points this season. I think they've got goals in him. Jimenez is a baller, so yeah.
Rob, you also said Wolves win, but 2-0.
I said 2-0. I don't know. As Jake says, no Europa League. That that has very much hindered them this season, and I still think they are a very good side.
Yeah.
I think they've got it in them. They're capable of it.
Next up, Premier League classic in my eyes: Aston Villa versus Newcastle. Me and Jake both said 0-0.
Yeah.
Premier League
Yeah,
classic.
It's got 0-0 written all over it.
We were
hasn't it?
talking about the lack of firepower from both teams.
Honest to God, neither team can score goals. John McGinn scores, but that's about
Oh,
it.
He's just scored 2 in a match for Scotland, didn't he?
Yeah, but that's Scotland. Who gives a fuck about international football?
He's got a few.
Not you.
as well.
Me, not literally, not me. But nah, just look at it. It's like, St. Maximin and Almiron are literally getting each other's way to not score goals, and you've got like Wesley for Aston Villa. Who did you see his miss for Brazil? Sure, was it Brazil? He's literally like he went to kick it.
Cap for Brazil.
I'm sure he would have capped. It might have been Brazil at the under, because he's only young. It might have been the under 21s or something.
Maybe.
And he's went to kick it and he just missed the. He's literally hit his other leg and just went out for a.
He has got
kick.
one leg longer than the other though, so give him a bit of slack. I did read that somewhere.
Has he?
Yeah.
You also predicted a draw, Olly, but a goal scoring draw.
Yeah, I think Newcastle are gonna push on to Aston Villa a bit and try and go for the win. And after getting a few goals in recent weeks, I think a couple of wins, I think they're gonna risk attacking a bit more, and Aston Villa are gonna punish them. But Newcastle centre backs are in form, goal scoring form. I think they might grab a few goals. 2-0.
Sure.
And Rob, you've won for a 1-0 Aston Villa win.
I've gone with it just because of one man, and it's Big John McGinn. He can score whenever he wants, wherever he wants.
He is a bit of a baller.
He is very good.
I want him at United.
I want him at Liverpool.
Well, I want him at United.
I want him more.
I don't want him. We've got Loftus Cheek. You can fight over him.
I want him to stay at Aston Villa.
Oh, fuck you,
Good
Greg.
shout. I want them also to turn Northern Irish. Next up, West Ham Spurs, London Derby.
Well, I can see what I predicted, and I'm glad that I did predict this.
Do you know what? My predictions got. I think we've got.
yeah.
I think we've got to predict it differently now. Though. I think
Yeah,
we've got
because
to give it a chance because Mourinho's.
I did a 3-2. It's not going to be 3-2.
Yeah,
Mourinho
good
in
luck
charge
with
now.
Mourinho.
Like everything's changed now.
Yeah, fair enough.
So what did we predict originally?
Bearing in mind, we predicted these literally a few hours before
He got sacked.
Pochettino
Yeah.
was sacked.
Well, I'm personally going from a 3-2 Spurs to a 2-0 Spurs. I think it'll be a winning start for Mourinho. Clean sheet, 2 goals
Yeah.
away from home against the rivals. He'll get his cock out, slap West Ham. Rob, you went for 1-0.
Yeah,
Are you
1 for 1.
happy with
I'm
that,
not
or?
changing that. I'm not changing it to Mourinho. 1-0 stays back.
Jake,
7 centre backs on.
you said 3-1 Spurs.
I'll still stick with that. Actually, I will stick with that. I still
Yeah.
think they've got like Kane's like Mourinho's ideal kind of striker, big,
What?
powerful,
Yeah.
like can do everything kind of play.
That Chelsea is Lukaku.
Yeah.
Do you know what?
So
I'm going to change mine to 2-0 Tottenham.
Ooh.
I
Was
think
it originally?
Mourinho's going to really come in and make a statement,
Yeah.
and Pellegrini's going to get sacked.
Or he's just going to win
Pellegrini's
1-0.
going to get sacked.
Yeah.
ooh, bold.
Ooh,
It's
is that
a bold
your-
claim.
Is that your rogue shout for the week?
Yeah, I'm going to throw that in as my rogue shout.
Instead, Pellegrini to get
Yeah.
sacked.
Oh,
Don't use each other. Well, you remember that. Tell you now, if fucking Spurs win 3-2, I'll be fucking fuming. It's all your fault. Have we been through all West Ham Spurs?
yeah.
Next up, I'm excited for this game: Sheffield United versus Manchester United.
Ollie, you take the floor.
I went
What did you
2-0
predict?
United, didn't I?
Yeah. If we
Yeah.
can change.
I've just got a bit of faith that United are going to turn a little bit of a corner in terms of their away form, because we've really struggled away from home this season. I know Sheffield United are a good team, but I just think with Martial, Rashford and James all in form, I just think we might just make a bit of progress. And I know it's the hope that kills me, because I'm going to be on the podcast next Tuesday after we lose 1-0 to a
I hope it is
Lundstram
1-0.
screamer.
I don't
And I'll be
care,
gutted
team,
again.
fantasy team.
But I just think there is just a little bit of a good vibe around the club at the minute. I think we might just make a bit of a statement. And I know it's only Sheffield United, but they are a good team at the moment. And
Well,
This.
I'm hoping it is 1-0 because I think that's what I predicted, isn't it, right?
You did?
I did.
So I've 1-0 Sheffield United.
I just felt so. I mean, I know Dean Henderson won't be playing, but
Yeah, no, Dean
I just they don't really concede goals. I don't think obviously he's a great keeper for them, but I don't think he's the reason they're keeping clean sheets. They're just so solid.
Rashford's banging form
Yeah.
though. Martial's in form.
Overlapping centre backs, leaving someone behind.
Yeah,
Now
but
with
you
no
say
Dean
that,
Henderson.
but I thought this when we went and played them. I think
They do have the fullbacks that come back when the.
Nah, I'm not being
centre-backs
funny.
go
Like
back.
they don't even they never seem to be exposed. Like we played them, didn't we? I think we only beat them 2-1. They
No,
never
we beat them
every
1-0,
time.
yeah.
Was it
From
1-0?
Henderson
Sorry,
blunder.
yeah, it was, wasn't it? We never seem to be able to get them exposed, even like with the amount of overlap and the fullbacks we're doing. Like we just couldn't seem to get at them. It's like that's what I found strange. You can see they've got the second best defensive record in the league, haven't
Yeah,
they?
they do. Henderson's got like 5 clean sheets.
Yeah,
already.
like they're a really good defensive side, but I think, like I said, 1-0. I think they'll steal.
Well,
Scrappy one with them.
Them to concede quite a bit.
Yeah.
3-1 United.
whilst I do think Chris Wilder's a great manager, I still think United have got lethal attacking threat. I know Dan James isn't in scoring form or creating a goal form at all at the moment, but Rashford and Martial, I just think they're too good for. They've got the strength as well, which maybe Liverpool players don't have, but Rashford maybe not. Dan James has showcased that he's got good strength, and Martial
The balanced player and
balanced
good
player, and Martial
low
is
centre of gravity.
I'm so
Lethal.
confused by that statement.
what?
The Liverpool forwards don't have any strength.
Not really, no.
Have you seen Sadio Mane?
Yeah, on the floor half the time.
He's not there as a result of being pushed over.
Yeah, he's by there.
Diving.
Yeah, he's from like that. Mo Salah's a strong footballer
He's
as
an
well.
airbender. Well, Mane.
I think both of them forwards, they're both strong and powerful.
I think there's a shout for Salah, but Mane now.
Firmino's not exactly weak either. Like, I think
No, Firmino's wimp.
he's not a wimp at
Yeah.
all.
We'll have to get Rob on again.
Do you not remember
Talk
Firmino's
about
goal against Man City a few years ago?
You'll back me up here,
off.
right?
Oh,
Like,
no,
I'm sorry,
no.
our forwards are like, I think
Do
Sadio
you not remember he
Mane.
shrugged off John Stones?
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like
no,
Sadio Mane as
Well,
well.
at
Like,
least I'd gone Firmino weak.
No, I don't.
I wouldn't call any of them
All
forwards.
right, you've touched a nerve there, Rob, with one of your closing comments on the
Fucking
podcast.
Chelsea fans.
Literally, I'm sorry. This is coming from a. You got what? Pedro Williams.
All right,
Oh no, we've got weak as.
3-1 Manchester United.
3-1 Manchester United.
Full of shite.
I said 1-1. And the final game of the week, the big one. City, Chelsea. Rob, we'll start with you because it's your forte.
I said 1-0 because I wanted to Chelsea, not City. Because hope, really. That's it. Hope and praying that we don't get battered 12-0 because you beat them with your weak ass forwards.
I just can't wait for Guardiola to have his temper tantrum and beat his 4-5-0.
yeah, go mental.
And rub it in his
Unleash.
hands.
That's what I was predicting actually. A 4-0.
Didn't I
Sorry,
predict
4-0
that as well?
City. Yeah.
I think I predicted that as well, didn't I?
You predicted 3-1 City.
3-1 City.
Yeah.
Get in there.
Did I? I'm sure I
You
predicted 4-0.
3-1 City.
You sure you didn't get my anomalies mixed up?
You predicted
That I genuinely feel like that was the other way
What?
around.
What did I go with?
4-0.
I feel like
What do you think you did?
I thought I said 4-0.
What's the other prediction?
3-1.
3-1. Yeah, I feel like I had a
Yeah,
3-1
definitely.
actually.
Like, yeah.
Fuck's sake, who did predictions last week?
I feel like I
You-
backed Chelsea
you
to get a
were
goal.
Fuck's sake, Jake.
I was going to say that definitely rings a bell because I remember the comment I said was that I think Guardiola likes to slap teams after he's been beat.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Yeah.
I went for
And I
another
can't
goal.
wait for him to do
2-2.
it with his strong ass forwards to you. Yeah.
We've got Tammy. That's it then. That's it.
Right.
Tammy.
Rob, every week we do like a row prediction for the week ahead. It's usually goal scorer, but this week
Whatever you
mean, it's
want.
his
Just
best,
something
yeah,
that's going to happen this
Augie's went for
weekend.
Pellegrini to get sacked, which is something.
I will go with a Rashford double
Ooh,
Okay.
against Sheffield.
I like that.
Really great
Rashford.
shout.
He's in form at the moment. I like it.
If it happens, you'll get a pint.
And Mane to dive.
What are you going to go for, Ray?
Come back to me. I haven't thought of it yet.
I'm going to go with for the first time since its inception this year, VAR isn't going to be a big talking point after this weekend.
Oh,
Like it's not going to play a part in this weekend's fixtures. I'm going to go for that. I really
Any
hope
of
so.
the
Anyway,
games?
what?
In any of the games?
I'm saying like across the Premier League, I don't feel like it's going to play a deciding factor in any
Is that a
Premier League
random
game.
one?
Okay.
Right?
I like
Really
that.
rogue shout, but
That sounds good.
Something.
John Flack will score.
John Fleck.
I've said it before.
Okay.
I'll go over him again. John
Good.
Flack to score for Sheffield.
so
United.
original.
Oh, well, look,
Yeah.
that's another podcast done. Hopefully, when I come to saving this. I won't delete it this time.
Yeah,
I'm
let's-
starting to get a little bit nervous already. But thanks if you've managed to listen this far. And we've got a little treat for you if you've made it this far
Oh,
from Ryan.
It's a
we've
who
got
am I?
So who am I for you? For you to get you thinking and let us know.
I'm just going to name 3 players and let us all know on Twitter.
So it's a
/
player that
YouTube.
has played with all 3 of these players.
And the 3 players are Gareth Bale, Moise Keane, and Johnny Evans.
So for the listeners at home that didn't understand that, it was Gareth Bale, Moise Keane,
And Jake's mum.
and Johnny Evans.
Right, so if you let us know the answer to that, we'll give you a little shout out on next week's podcast. Tweet us on Twitter, comment on the YouTube, whatever you want. And like I said before, if you can let us know if you're watching the podcast or you're listening to the podcast, that'll be great, just so we know if we are starting to build a little bit of an audience, because it'd be nice to get a few of you interacting with us. But thanks again for
We
listening.
just want friends, to be honest.
Yeah, we just want some new friends. Thanks again to Rob for coming on and for having to do this
cheers,
podcast
Rob.
twice.
Very
And
much.
sorry from me, but
Thanks for having me.
Soul clap.
we'll be hopefully back on Tuesday this next week.
As
So
long as we
thanks
don't
again for
delete this one.
listening. We've been the Route 1 Football Podcast. Goodbye.
Peace.
Bye.